Hey everyone, it's Steve Huff at stevehufpphoto.com. I'm here today because I want to talk about and take a look at two cameras that are now kind of in competition with each other when they didn't used to be. I'm talking about the Leica SL, which I'm filming myself with right now with the 24-90 lens. I'm going to say that the AF performance for video is much slower than the Sony. Let's see if it focuses on my hand and then back to me. But I want to talk about these cameras because the Leica SL is now $59.95. Still crazy expensive at around $6,000, but it was $7,500. So Leica has knocked off $1,500 from the cost of the SL. So the Sony is $4,500 and it's still $1,500 less expensive than the SL, has more native lenses available for it, and is faster. So why would someone choose something like a Leica SL over a Sony A9? That's what I'm going to try to talk about here in this video because right now I have both. I have both in hand. I have the Leica SL with 24-90, which is an amazing zoom lens. It's actually the best 24-70-ish type of lens I've ever tested. The IQ is stunning. It's just as good as their M primes. Now, the Sony, of course, you have a myriad of lenses available, going from, inexpensive like the 50-1.8 all the way up to their G Master line. But the Leica SL, when you open it and take it out of the box, it inspires confidence. The build and the quality, the feel is on another level from the Sony A9. When you take the Sony A9 out of the box, you say, oh wow, this is pretty nice, but it feels like an A7. There's not much difference between the A9 and the A7 R2s, for example, in body, size, weight, feel, construction. The Leica SL is weather sealed. The Sony is not. The Leica SL has your little OLED display up top. It's very clean, and the user interface, once you learn it, takes a couple hours to get used to. It's quite intuitive and amazing. I love the Leica SL menu system and how you can change your settings. The Sony A9 is a lightning fast camera. Many say it's geared towards the action and sports shooter, but I say it's an all-around camera usable for anything that you like. Some people like the previous generation sensor better in the A7R2, but one thing is for sure, the Sony A9 is a powerhouse of speed and versatility. Battery system, Sony has improved that from the A7. I can get 2,500 shots, images only, on my A9 without running out the battery, and that's pretty incredible. The Leica SL is not up to that level of battery, but it's still a very beefy battery system. So there's no battery issues with either of these cameras. Versatility, the Sony wins because you can use almost any lens from any manufacturer and they work well via adapters. The Leica SL does have adapters for Nikon, for Canon, and for Leica M, of course, but the Sony will use those lenses. When you use those lenses on Sony, the A9 I should say, you will have faster performance. The SL overall is a beautifully designed camera. To me, it's a work of art. It feels carved when you hold it in your hand. You feel that solid construction and care that went into the build. The Sony feels more like a traditional Sony camera. It's nothing special, yet it's $4,500. I bought the Sony with my own money, and I needed it for vlogging, for other things that I do outside of this as well as this. But right now I wanted to test the Leica SL for a video like this just to see if it can keep up. I'm actually going to switch to the Sony right now via video so we can see what the differences are in the focus and the color. Okay, now here we are with the Sony. This is a 28mm f2 lens. I actually have it at f2 and it seems to focus really well. There's my hand. You'll compare that to the Leica, and here I am. Now I don't have it on any face tracking. I just have it on continuous AF, and it seems to do a really good job. I'm also interested to hear the difference in my voice with the built-in mics. So you just watched the Leica SL intro, and now this is the A9 where I'm continuing. But the Sony A9, is it worth $4,500? To some people, yes, absolutely. To others, absolutely not. Those who might want an A9 is somebody who wants speed, response, battery life, awesome video capabilities, and an all-around general everyday camera. But it's not going to feel the same. It's not going to give you even the same IQ as the Leica SL, as there are pretty drastic color differences out of the camera. The SL gives us a nice warm hue and tone, and the Sony gives us a cooler tone, and Sony's always been cooler in the way they render. The SL coming in at nearly $6,000 is still $1,500 more expensive than the Sony, but are you getting $1,500 worth of camera? I will say that if your main passion is taking photographs, I would go with the Leica SL, and I would choose possibly some Zeiss or Voigtlander M lenses to go with it, because the SL works so nice with M lenses. They're small, it keeps the system small, and the magnification with the joystick in that brilliant EVF is going to give you the magnification needed to easily manual focus. Way better than manually focusing something like an M10, which you have to rely on the rangefinder patch, and if that goes out of whack, you have to send the whole kit in for an alignment. So the SL, if you're into photography, portraits, people, street, anything really, the SL is a beautiful camera, and the sensor in it is gorgeous. Up to ISO 50,000, there's really not much difference between the Sony A9 and the Leica SL. The Leica, for once, they were able to get the ISO performance to be very good, just like they did afterwards with the M10. So if photography is your main passion and you're not worried about video, you're not worried about the utmost speed and response, you don't need it for sports or action, the SL wins. Now, if you're someone who likes the speed and response and you take video and you want that fast AF for video, and you just want a nice, solid, dependable, capable camera, the A9 is beautiful, and it'll save you $1,500. You lose out on that Leica look and the Leica rendering, and the A9 will work well with M lenses, maybe not as well as the SL, since Leica makes the SL, and they can kind of tweak it for use with the M lenses. You're still going to get a camera that's capable all the way around. Speed, response, video, photos, versatility, lens choice. SL, you get amazing construction, beautiful EVF, amazing warm rendering for your photographs, and great lenses as well. So it's kind of a tricky thing. The SL used to be $7,500, $3,000 more than the Sony. In that case, I would have said take the Sony, spend the $3,000 on a really great lens for that Sony, and be happy. Even if someone chose an A9 and the Sony Zeiss 51.4, which is big, but it has autofocus and renders like a 50 Summilux, that would be an amazing combo for photography or whatever you like. Future, Sony will be coming out with more lenses. You will be getting those high magnification primes, telephoto lenses, I mean. Leica's coming out with a whole Summicron line for the SL that they claim is new technology that takes the level up to here. They say you're going to get the background blur, the bokeh of an f1.4 lens and an f2 design. So the new Summicron line coming for the SL is supposed to be rather amazing. Some have speculated there could be an SL2, and since the SL was released in 2015, 2018 would be the 3-year cycle of the SL, where we might see an updated SL2, just like we see the TL2 today. 24 megapixel sensor in the SL, 24 megapixel sensor in the Sony, so you have the same resolution with the different rendering and different feature set. The Sony's more tech, more modern, more up to date. The SL feels like an old friend, a little romantic, just like the M line. If you can't tell, I love the SL. Let me grab it. So you guys have known I've loved the SL. It was my camera of the year in 2015. It's a beauty. It looks really big right now because I have the 24-90 on it, which, as I said, is a gorgeous lens. But if you put something like a Leica 50 Summilux on here, it's small, light, and just as light. and small as an A9 kit with, say, the 50-1.4 Zeiss, which will actually be bigger. So the SL just feels substantial in your hand. It feels, I've already said this, but I can't express it enough. You have that nice construction, solid. The battery, the way it comes out is awesome. It's weather sealed. You have your HDMI outs. You have dual card slots, same as the Sony. So they're more similar than different, but they are very different. If you're a romantic and love photography and love the Leica brand and heritage, and something about that red dot gives you the warm and fuzzies, I'd say go for an SL. Now, I was able to pick this one up, a mint used copy of the SL for $4,500, which is the same cost as the Sony A9 that is filming this. If you can come across an SL for $4,500, I would go with an SL in a heartbeat unless you have specific needs that only the Sony can give you. They're both awesome cameras. I love my A9 for video. I love the SL for photos. So cameras today are awesome, as I said in a recent video. These are no exception. They're beautiful, and you can always check back to stevehufpphoto.com anytime, any day for news, reviews, guest posts, daily inspirations. If you guys want to submit a guest post to my website, send me an email. There's instructions on the site. Give a link to your Flickr, your Facebook, your website, your blog, and we'll send traffic in return. It's an awesome place to share your thoughts, your ideas, your photos, and your memories. We have a big community there, and it's a lot of fun. We don't have trolls either, so that's a thumbs up. So thanks for watching. This is Steve Huff Photo. I will catch you next time. Bye.